Alafia everyone, welcome to the Obelisk Lounge. I am Priestess Ifa Karede and today I'm going to be doing a reading on Sammy Davis Jr. So this reading is a part of a series of old Hollywood tea that I'm going to be getting into on the channel. So if you guys have any recommendations or suggestions of old Hollywood figures that you guys would like for me to do readings on, then comment down below. If you all are interested in booking a personal reading with me, then you all can click the link in my description box. It is www.voodooinstitute.com/Karede. And so the first thing I want to go ahead and get into with this Sammy Davis Jr. reading is his personality. So Egungun, what was Sammy Davis Jr.'s personality like? Egungun and ancestors who vibrate only on the highest levels of love and compassion, what was Sammy Davis Jr.'s personality like? Shuffle one last good time. Okay. Card for the servant, God, the father, the mentor, and the bully. Okay, so the card for the servant is actually talking about him being a pleaser, like him wanting to serve his community or just serve people in general. You know, with him being such a prominent and great entertainer during that time, you know, he served people through his through entertainment. Like he looked at it as like an act of service, a service, you know, from God. Like using his God-given talents, you know, to serve, you know, the community. He also probably looked at himself as someone who was untouchable, because the light attribute of the God card is talking about, the shadow attribute of the God card is talking about despotism and cruelty, using power to control people. So he could have been somebody who was very controlling, or that's maybe how people perceived him, or maybe he was somebody that was actually easily controlled, because with the card for the servant, I don't see him having a lot of personal power. However, with the God card coming out, it's probably, I feel like it's talking about that's how people perceived him, but that's really not who he was. With the card for the father coming out, I see that his father probably played a prominent role in who Sammy Davis Jr., you know, became. I see he had a really great relationship with his father, and even with the father and the son on this card, looking at the stars, his father prepared him for stardom, if that makes sense. Because I do know that he came from an entertainment background, and so his father kind of helped to probably even maybe make him feel like a god at times, like, you know, like him, you know, feeling very godlike, even though that's how people perceived him. But with the card for the servant coming out, like, I literally just don't see that really being Sammy Davis Jr.'s personality, though. Because even with the card for the mentor coming out, I do see that he was somebody that probably other younger artists or other entertainers coming into the business that they looked up to. This is actually probably why the God card came out too, as well as the servant. And so once again, it's just talking about him mentoring people, and how mentoring and even entertaining was an act of service. However, with the card for the bully coming out, he probably was somebody that actually had like a really bad attitude. I feel like he could also be very mean to people as well, and he probably only mentored people like with the intention of maybe making money off of them, you know. Like he probably presented, you know, the offer of mentorship to them as you know, like he presented the offer of mentorship to people as, you know, like, I'm scratching, you know, your back, or I'm looking out for you because I care for you. But really, I mean, his real intention probably was just to make money or to control them in some way, like maybe manage their careers. Because I feel like with the bully That's probably what happened to him. Like maybe he was bullied, and so he decided to do the same thing with other people coming into the entertainment business after him. So that is what his personality was like. Now, let me see. Let me see. Why did he convert to Judaism? Why did Sammy Davis Jr. convert to Judaism? What made him convert to Judaism? What made him convert to Judaism? Jack of Diamonds, Ace of Diamonds, and the Three of Spades. The Jack of Diamonds, the Ace of Diamonds, and the Three of Spades is talking about like the way he grew up. Like he was just somebody that was just very interested in like different religions or theologies anyway. The Jack of Diamonds is talking about him probably kind of being a bit bratty, or him like feeling like Judaism was going to be something that that brought him more wealth, that brought him more opportunities, especially since the Ace of Diamonds came out. This is talking about, you know, him converting to Judaism allowed him to rub shoulders with the other, you know, with the Jews in the entertainment business, since I mean they pretty much run, you know, the entertainment business. And so that is, you know, or really just run everything really. And so that was his strategy, like that was his plan with the Three of Spades, you know, to convert. It wasn't really it wasn't like for spiritual purposes or anything. It was really just for, you know, financial momentum and gain. With the Joker, yeah, it was yeah, the Joker, the Four of Hearts, and then the Jack of Hearts is talking about him wanting to be spoiled by them, like he wanting access to the other things that his white counterparts had as well. And so that him making that conversion, it was just very strategic for him to do so. It wasn't something that he was actually very serious about with the Joker coming out, but that is how he wanted the public to perceive him with this Four of Hearts and this Jack of Hearts. It's not anything that he was passionate about. However, he did respect the theology of it. He respected the history of the religion as well. But it was really just a money and business move for him. And so since that came out, I want to know, how did he feel about being the only black guy or the only black man a part of the Rat Pack? How did Sammy Davis Jr. feel about being the only black man a part of the Rat Pack? Jack of Diamonds once again, King of Spades, Ace of Clubs. He actually enjoyed it. With the Jack of Diamonds, the King of Spades, and the Ace of Clubs, I mean, I hate to even use this word, like this verbiage, but he liked being the token, because he felt like he was able to have like the attention all on himself, you know, like he was able to get the recognition that he wanted to. With the King of Spades with the King of Spades coming out, it's talking about him, about this being a part of like a master plan for him. Like he was able to navigate and be seen easily in you know, in these entertainment spaces, and even amongst really the Rat Pack in general, because he was the only black person. I do see though, honestly, I have to say with the King of Spades and Ace of Clubs, that it was something that kind of hardened him a bit. Yeah, it's something that like hardened him a little bit, and it hardened him in a way though where he wasn't interested in making way for any other black artist, honestly, any other black artist at that time. Like, he liked just being, like, he liked being the only one. He liked the attention and the spotlight being on him. The Two of Spades, the Ten of Clubs, and even the Queen of Hearts. Yeah, he really liked all of the attention on him. He liked the attention that he even got from women during that time. Because he stood out from everybody else, because he was probably maybe the most entertaining, or not, and not in my opinion, but from public perception, because with this Ten of Clubs, it's talking about the public. So this was how the public perceived him. However, it was very stressful for him, though. I do feel like he possibly could have probably gotten mistreated by them at different times, or maybe not mistreated, but like, there was like certain conversations with the Two of Spades and even this club's energy coming out. Like, there were certain conversations that were inappropriately had around him. However, he would still engage in those conversations, though. He would still engage with those conversations with him, because he looked at himself with the Two of Spades, talking about cognitive dissonance, you know. He looked at himself as someone. Oh, yeah, okay. So this is how he looked at it. Whenever they were having inappropriate or racial inappropriate racial conversations, Sammy Davis was like, "Oh, but they ain't talking about me, though." You know, he was one of them. Okay, he was one of them types. Oh, okay. You know, I'm gonna engage in this, you know, in this self-hate conversation with you, but because y'all ain't talking about me, y'all talking about other people. However, at times, though, I feel like with this Ten of Clubs, it's talking about him feeling like a lot of stress from his community, though, like a lot of pressure from the black community to just do better, like to be more proactive, to be more socially charged and progressive with our community, like in our community, or to use his platform rather to do that. Four of Hearts, Ten of Spades, but he didn't care. He wasn't studying that. The Four of Hearts, the Ten of Spades, and the King of Hearts. This is talking about him not really caring. Him not really caring, and him just, you know, him liking the attention, you know, him feeling like the conversations that they had, or the conversations that were being had, were not about him. However, he understood how contradictory that was, and it did actually hurt his feelings sometimes, some of the stuff that he probably heard them say. Even if it wasn't the Rat Pack saying the things, like, I feel like it could have been executives, like other like prominent people that were running his career and the Rat Pack's career. Or even the audience, you know, and things like that. Like, it did hurt his feelings and cause a bit of strife, you know, and angst, you know, in him. So that is that question. Now I actually want to get into, like, what was his relationship like with the Rat Pack? Like Egungun. What was Sammy Davis Jr.'s relationship like with members of the Rat Pack? Like, how was their relationship? What was the dynamic? Did they get along? For real, for real? If you all are enjoying this reading, then of course give the video a thumbs up, as well as comment and subscribe. So their relationship dynamic was actually like, they had like a lot of back and forth. I feel like they actually could have argued a lot, or just not have seen eye to eye, you know, on different things a lot, which, I mean, it's not too far-fetched, because this Seven of Clubs and this Five of Hearts and this Nine of Hearts is talking about him needing to fight for respect or for power in the relationship amongst himself and the other members of the Rat Pack. Like, they had a lot of arguments. Like, they had like a lot of love for each other, but at the same time they argued a lot. Like, they argued about, I feel like this could even be talking about like a romantic relationship, or like a hidden like romantic relationship even between them, especially with that Seven of Clubs coming out. I'll get into that later. The King of Clubs, the King of Diamonds, And then the Six of Hearts, it was like a lot of fight really for power. However, I do see them all actually having a really close relationship. I do know that he was friends with, he was really close friends with Frank Sinatra. And so Sammy Davis, he just came out as the King of Clubs. And then the King of Diamonds, that is talking about Frank Sinatra and how Frank helped to keep the relationship, or helped to keep the relationship amongst the group like together. Like I feel like he could have been like the cornerstone of the crew, like of the Rat Pack, or he was the one that, better yet, that helped Sammy Davis to stay in the Rat Pack. Because I feel like maybe like the other people, and I'm feeling like, what's that man's name, Dean Martin or something like that. His name just popped up in my head because I don't know a lot about these people, but his name just popped up in my head. And so I feel like there was strife between the relationship, maybe between him and Dean Martin. Like there was like a power struggle between who was going to be at the forefront and whatnot, and things like that. Like I feel like they probably could have bantered. I don't know. Comment down below if they, if public perception was that they had a friendly banter with one another. But I'm not seeing I'm seeing their banter being serious, like it being rooted in actual serious issues or problems that they had with one another. Because I feel like they could have picked on Sammy Davis Jr. a lot, or like he was like the butt of a lot of the jokes. Yeah, he was the butt of like a lot of jokes, and so he really didn't like that. However, Frank would step in at times and like kind of like diffuse the situation, or change the conversation and like stand up for him. Because I feel like with the King of Diamonds, Frank Sinatra, he was actually probably very hip to like racial and social injustices and things like that. I see with the King of Diamonds, like he was very enlightened and well informed on those things. And so that is actually this is a part of the reason why Sammy Davis enjoyed Frank's company so much. Like he was somebody that was very well versed. He also knew how to make money as well. And so Sammy Davis, he latched on to that because Frank Sinatra was somebody that knew how to make that money. Like he knew how to get, the public's, attention, and to actually keep it. Now, okay, it just came out in the cards. I was finna say something, but I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna say it if it doesn't come out in the cards. But the 10 of Hearts, the 5 of Diamonds, and the Jack of Hearts coming out is talking about them having, I feel like, a romantic relationship. I feel like Sammy Davis Jr. and Frank Sinatra had a romantic relationship. This 10 of Hearts, 5 of Diamonds, and this Jack of Hearts is, they most certainly shared romantic feelings for one another. Even if they didn't, this 5 of Hearts and this 5 of Diamonds, they did. They had a romantic relationship with one another. And so that's actually part of the reason why Frank Sinatra would take up for Sammy Davis so much, and the rest of the crew knew this. They were aware of this relationship that was actually going on between them. I do see with the 10 of Hearts, the 5 of Diamonds, and the Jack of Hearts coming out, though, that 10 of Hearts in particular is talking about this being like a soulmate relationship between them.